Hey everyone, Pharaoh Silver here. I wasn't planning on making this video. That I'm not just making it, but I'm posting it on a Friday. Mostly unedited. Should tell you everything that you need to know about why I'm making this video in the first place. But, I can't avoid this anymore, and I need to talk about this. And while it's on my mind, and I've mentioned this before, when something's on my mind and I feel like I really need to get it out, I'm going to post a video on it. I do not care when it is. So here we are. So as I mention on this channel, I usually have like a lot of top suggestions, and I will talk about what my top suggestion is. And the latest top suggestion from emails, from comments, from people on the Discord servers, and so on, is to turn Beer Money Engine into a full-on 100% Atlas Earth channel. Because I pretty much do about 50-60% of my videos on Atlas Earth anyways, and many of you have noticed an increasing amount of it in the last couple months. Now, I'm going to go over, like, I'm not going to lie to you, I have been at least thinking about it. I haven't really, like, I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on it. I don't plan on pulling the trigger, and this is one of those videos that I'm kind of just, like, letting you know my thoughts, you know? These are the rants that you guys really do want to see on here. I noticed that. So, yeah. I thought I would give a few reasons. I'm going to do 3 each, for and against the idea. And I want to leave this as a discussion to you all in the audience. Like, mostly 80% have already made up my mind that I'm not going to make this a complete Atlas Earth channel, and I'll kind of explain why to a point in some of these throughout this video. But, okay. So, first off, the arguments for turning Beer Money Engine into a full-on Atlas Earth channel. The first one being it is my most consistent view gainer compared to Beer Money reviews, compared to any personal finance videos I did in the past, compared to just about anything I've done. Atlas Earth is by far the channel that the game that gets the most views. I should say not game, even the app, the rewards app that gets the most views. I ran like median by app, by segment that I do, where I had the Beer Money Portfolio month in reviews. I had the, which are now gone, I'm aware, but I had those month in reviews. I had the Atlas Earth videos. I had the Beer Money reviews. And I had the personal finance videos and then miscellaneous. And of the 5, Atlas Earth videos have a median of around 1,500 views. Compared to everything else being around the 450 to 500 range. I think Beer Money reviews, now there is one segment of Beer Money reviews where I am actually matching and sometimes even exceeding Atlas Earth views, and it usually involves crypto apps. Those crypto apps usually will give me around, I would say anywhere between 1,500 to 5,000 views for a video. And that clearly tells me that the Beer Money reviews that people want to see are more stuff on crypto apps, even if they turn out to be complete hot garbage, which virtually every single one of these crypto apps that I have been requested to review has so far, except for one, and that one I can't even mention on YouTube anymore, which because it violates their guideline policy, and y'all know which one I'm talking about by going off of that. Or at least I think it violates their policy, so I don't want to take a risk, you know what I mean? So outside of that one, like, sub-segment within a segment, the Atlas Earth videos do the best. Just period. There really isn't a number 2 at all. Like, I think second amongst those 5 segments is averaging something like 500, 600 views or something like that. I guess you could count rants, kind of get pretty close too, but like all my rants have been on Atlas Earth or like on the channel itself. So, and this video is a rant even, you know, so that's not, I wouldn't consider that something that I would count as its own thing just yet. Unless, well, we'll see, because I am planning on doing a personal finance video that's going to be kind of ranty next week. We'll see at that point. It'll be a nice little test. All right, so that's the first reason is, yeah, it's my most consistent view gainer. The second reason for just turning this into a full-on Atlas Earth channel is that the app has managed to stick around despite the massive amount of headwind against it early on. Now, you all remember that the Atlas Earth had really had a lot of trouble in the early goings, partially because of the big crypto land craze, and they kind of launched right in the midst of that crypto land craze, where everyone was kind of bashing on this idea of virtual land and trying to turn virtual land into real money. And the other ones, now Atlas Earth did something very novel in that they would give you rent directly based off the number of parcels that you had, whereas most of these other places, like Upland or Earth 2, you would have to not just buy the land, but it wasn't really generating anything meaningful for you. I think it generated like small amount of their in-game currency. But then they would, in order for you to make any actual real money out of it, you would have to sell that land. So, Atlas Earth was kind of one of a kind in that sense. That, and also it didn't involve crypto. That was the other big thing too. It involved fiat. It did not involve any crypto whatsoever. And that kind of gave them a little bit more enticement for the mainstream audience. And looking back at it now, it kind of makes sense that Atlas Earth, was kind of due to beat the odds on that one compared to the other crypto, where like crypto apps in general are seen as scammy, even if they're not. They could just be very bad business practices, like a lot of the others. A lot of the land apps, I would say, none of them are scams. Well, okay, no, scratch that. I'm sure a couple of them are scams, actual scams, like rug pull scams, but most of them are just very bad business practices. And Atlas Earth is the only one where they were trying to be transparent. They're pretty solid in what they do, at least more solid and more transparent than others in that space. And that has paid them dividends. They are clearly the premier virtual land app now out there by a country mile. It is not even close. Third, let's be real. Is there anything else in the beer money space that's really doing well right now? Like, everything else over the last year and a half has been either exceedingly nerfing or just like they're just carbon copies of each other. Like, I'm going to take the only ones that are even semi-original are like the cashback apps. Like Upside was pretty original, but it seems like enough people know about it that people didn't really care too much about like the app itself. And the last beer money review I did was on Cash Kick, which was literally just Besitos in a wrapper. Like, it's amazing just how much, like, look, Cash Kick was literally just Besitos in a wrapper. It was just everything involving with Besitos. And so if you did not like Besitos back when they were around with Bridge, you would not like Cash Kick. I only gave it a low blue because, yes, they're legit and they're going to pay out. But let's be real. How many of us are going to use Cash Kick? Right? How many people did I get referred from Cash Kick here? I see no one, actually. I got no referrals according to this. Now, I don't know if that's because the referral code doesn't work or if that's because, it's just, I don't know. It's, but you see what I mean? Nothing in the beer money space right now is doing great. Everything has been hurting except for Atlas Earth. I guess MTurk's kind of remained stagnant too, but Atlas Earth is the only one that keeps growing. They keep adding new things. They keep adding new ways to earn. And again, those Atlas bucks, that in-game currency, is essentially the same thing as real cash because you're turning it in for parcels which pay you directly real cash. Now, it's not much of it. Yeah, that's true, but, it does add up over time. So yeah, those are the reasons for that. But now I want to go to the reasons against it. So the first one is very simple, really. If Atlas Earth goes under, and I'm not going to pretend like that there isn't a non-zero chance that it wouldn't go under, because let's be real, guys. every app can go under. All right, every app can, and I'm well aware like there are other apps out there, other games out there, just games. Like when I played Raid Shadow Legends, I would follow this one YouTuber. I believe his name is Ash. All right, and he literally does just Raid Shadow Legends content and only Raid Shadow Legends content. Now, Raid Shadow Legends is a pretty stable game at this point, despite the headwinds it had of it being, you know, kind of a little bit like a gacha game. It's kind of like almost like the original mobile gacha game, honestly. But if Raid Shadow Legends went under tomorrow, that channel's gone. You know, it's like you have to start thinking. You have to start thinking like, you know, you need something else to kind of fall back on if you want to keep going as a YouTube channel. And that's part of the reason why this was called Beer Money Engine and not, you know, Atlas Earth Engine or, you know, some kind of Atlas Earth channel that I was going to name myself originally. Because yes, I will admit this channel was created because I opened up Atlas Earth. I saw the number of parcels I was making early on in like, you know, January, February of 2022. And I was like, I wonder if people would want to see stuff about this. And then I made this little experiment, creating a beer money portfolio and all that. And again, we might go back to the beer money portfolio. We'll see. But I still want to try out something new before I decide to do that. But again, it's a different topic for a different time. All right. So yeah, it's basically live by the app, die by the app. And it's not something that I want to put myself into and put myself at that much risk on. Second, there right now isn't enough content to make Atlas Earth videos consistently. Now, that could change because from all the ideas I've heard from Sammy Khan's Ask Me Anything, they made it clear that they want to add more stuff and they only want to keep adding more stuff, and Atlas Earth becomes a one-stop shop for everything. As I said, this feels like a lot of Icarus flying too close to the sun kind of vibes I'm getting out of this. But if they succeed, like, there would be enough information, actually, enough content to talk about to make its own channel, actually. But for now, at least, like, outside of just repeating the same, you know, 20 videos all the time, what can I really do? You know, if I want to make content twice a week, and there's really only enough to make, you know, 20, 25 videos before I'd have to start repeating myself. Like, what do I do? Make the same video every 3 months, every 4 months? And I'm doing Summer of Atlas. That's going to be 14, 15 videos. That's going to be about as comprehensive of stuff about Atlas Earth to talk about as I can think of. Outside of, like, if they start adding anything else. And outside of that, like, I really should then move on to other beer money apps, in my opinion. But if they do add more stuff, we'll see. You know, it could be entirely different. And I could be speaking a different language on that one. But for now, there just isn't enough content. And finally, I really am more of a finance guy than I am a gaming guy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm big on retro gaming, and honestly, with that, I'm planning on something down the line where I want to talk a little bit more about gaming stuff, but more like retro gaming. Not here, but like a channel in the near future, when I actually get the time to anyway. But with this one, like, I'm not really a gaming guy. I don't, you know, when I talk about Atlas Earth here, I talk about it in the sense of how much money you can make. All right. That's the reason why when I do the Summer of Atlas videos, you will see that I'm only going to be talking about it in the sense of someone who is a free-to-play player or someone who's going to take the money that they've earned from Atlas Earth and then use it to pay for certain subscriptions in the most efficient way possible, of course. So either the free-to-play players or the pay-as-you-go players. I very much, like, I'm not so diehard of an Atlas Earth fan to tell people to go and put down hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars into the game. I absolutely think that is an absolutely terrible idea. And I personally think that Atlas Reality probably agrees with me on that one, because they would rather you help out the strength of their app by going and getting, you know, cash back from the AMP program, or getting Atlas Bucks back via their new gas thing they're going to have out in this out very soon. Ugh, I can't even talk right now. So, and you know, things like that. You know, or from mini games. You know, they want you to look at ads. They want you to get cash back from the vendors. So that way, these ad providers and these vendors can look back at this and look at the metrics and be like, oh wow, this looks really awesome. And I mentioned this in the last video too. You know, it helps them more if vendors look at them and say, okay, this is a great place for me to advertise my company or advertise my business so that I can get more traffic, versus someone just giving them money for $10,000 worth of money for a few parcels. All right. So, but I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think about what you think about this idea. Like I said, I pretty much 80%, at least for now, I should say, am not going to go on this idea. And part of that is because the personal finance videos, I want to make personal finance videos. I still want to give some beer money reviews a shot following June, when I actually get a little bit of time now to start catching up on certain things because I got overworked again. I guess I should give one bonus against as well. And this was one of those that kind of led me kind of tilting still towards not doing this. And that is, I know that if I turn into mostly an Atlas Earth channel, people are going to expect me to be a lot more positive about Atlas Earth. And honestly, while I do like them better than most other rewards apps, I still like to prefer to remain neutral if I can help it. I have a lot of respect for the staff over at Atlas Reality. I have a lot of respect over, you know, the Peacekeepers as well. A lot of them are my friends even, you know. Annalise is a friend. Midnight's a friend. Mr. Everything's a friend. I think I know Joe Fish is a friend. SSC Kelly is a friend. You know, they're all people that I talk to either semi-regularly or regularly, depending. But I'm not going to lie when I say, like, one of the reasons why I would have declined being a moderator there or a peacekeeper there was for that reason, that I do not like being told, like, I can't say certain things that I think need to be said. If something is wrong about Atlas Earth, I'm going to let you know it. I have done that a few times already before, and I will continue to do that. If something is bad, it does not matter the respect I have for, you know, it's the same when Manning was around. I did not have, you know, it does not matter the respect I had for Manning. If something was wrong, I'm going to call it out. Yeah, it's mostly that, you know, I don't want to lose that neutrality, because that neutrality is what I feel like makes this channel what it is. And also, in a way, it kind of helps out Atlas Earth, because you come to this channel and you know, okay, this is no bullshit. You know exactly what you're expecting from Atlas Earth by watching my videos. And that's what I want y'all to come out of before you play the game. Is like, okay, this is what I'm expecting. And so this is what the game is going to provide to get me. So now I'm ready to play, and this is what I can do, and this is what I'm capable of. But yeah, let me know what you think. I think this is enough for a rant. It's almost 20 minutes as it is. By the way, I hope you like watching rock, paper, scissors for almost 20 minutes at this point. Because, yeah, I thought that, you know, I would have like a distinct video where you guys can see what rock, paper, scissors looks like for the Atlas Earth minigame. Another video will be coming out tomorrow. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters as well. I don't have it on the wall here because this is literally just record, combine, and just like send this out. But if I do put it on the wall there, maybe I might change my mind, post edit. But yeah, if so, well, there you go. Like, comment, subscribe. I especially want comments. I want comments. I want your thoughts on what you think about like Atlas Earth itself. If you like the idea of a full-on 100% Atlas Earth channel. If you are against the idea, like, I know there's got to be like people who are strongly for and strongly against on this channel, and I want to rack up a discussion here, and let's seriously have a talk about this. Like, I'm pretty much set on it, but yeah, let's talk about this. Seriously, I want to get an idea. This is one of those rants where I like to know what my audience thinks, because I always want to be as interactive as I can with y'all. And that's the reason why. It's not like I'm indifferent on this, because I've already made my decision, like I said, 80-90% on it. But I do want to hear from the audience, basically. I want people's suggestions, because, you know, you never know. You might also learn something new out of it, all right? So, Pharaoh Silver signing out. I'll see you all in the next video. See ya, everyone.